Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending today's event. It's a beautiful day. It's been a wonderful start to the fall semester, and it's been great seeing everyone back on campus. Today is a very exciting day. I'm here to update you on several important items pertaining to both the successes and challenges we face at South Dakota State University. But more importantly, we gather here today to recognize some of the achievements and accomplishments of our university. It is important that we take time to recognize those accomplishments and the individuals and groups that have helped transform our university into what it is today, a leading and premier land-grant university that serves the citizens of South Dakota and beyond. We prepare the leaders of tomorrow and provide the next generation of healthcare workers, educators, engineers, performers, nutritionists, farmers, counselors, and many, many others. We prepare the leaders of tomorrow to solve the wicked problems of the 21st century related to food, energy, water, climate change, and population growth. We do important, life-changing work. This fall, the Higher Learning Commission will visit our campus November 4th and 5th for its 10-year reaccreditation visit. SDSU has been accredited by HLC since 1916, and as you know, this is a critical process for the continued success of our university. Through the leadership of Dr. Mary Kay Helling and with the assistance of Dr. Jana Hansen, many of you have been involved in this large undertaking for the past 2 years to prepare for this visit. Information for the visit and other related documents for accreditation can be found in the weekly Monday morning message. I encourage all of you to read the materials as we close in on these very important dates. Dr. Helling and Dr. Hansen and any members of the steering committee or the 9 work groups, would you please stand? Let's thank them for their work during this important process. For about a year now, approximately 50 people on campus have led efforts to implement a new banner system to house student information and other important data to aid in the operations of the university. This has been a huge undertaking with hours and hours and days of work and training. I would ask that anyone involved in the banner implementation please stand at this time and be recognized. Thank you very much. How sweet it is, a phrase that we heard many times last March when our women's basketball team, under the guidance of Coach Aaron Johnston, made history by reaching the Sweet 16 of the NCAA tournament for the first time in our program's history. Coach Johnston and any members of the women's basketball staff, please stand. I know AJ just came in. Let's thank him and congratulate him and his staff and student athletes for this outstanding effort. One of the great things about a university is the diversity of our activities that take place here. While I just recognized our women's basketball coach for accomplishments on the court, I now want to recognize someone for their efforts in a research lab. Dr. Adam Hoppe has been conducting leading research on our campus in the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry and in his role as the director of the NSF-funded BioCenter. Dr. Hoppe's team at the BioCenter generated $23 million in new research funding and supported another $75 million in public-private research activity. What really stood out to me are the nearly 200 papers that were published in high-impact journals and the involvement and opportunities it provided to more than 150 students. Dr. Hoppe, please stand and everyone, please congratulate him on his outstanding leadership. We are all well aware of the disturbing climate we live in regarding to mass shootings across America. This challenge is top of mind for me every minute of every day. I am grateful that we have an accredited police force that works with local law enforcement agencies to protect us all. Vice President Adeline, Chief Heaton, and other members of UPD, please stand so we can thank you and your teams for making our campus safe. I can't get him to, I got him to wave, that's good. So. If you've been around campus, you will notice how green and beautiful it has been all summer. We certainly had a wet summer, but credit for our campus beauty needs to be given to Associate Vice President Dean Cattleman and his entire crew in facilities and services. During the summer, they are responsible for mowing over and over again 200 acres of grass and maintain 2,000 annuals and nearly as many bushes and shrubs and trees. This winter, they will plow 6.5 miles of streets and sidewalks and 80 acres of parking lots many times to remove snow. Thank you, Dean. Please stand up, and your crew from Facilities and Services, thank you very much. It was January 2018 when I spoke in a similar capacity about the launch of Imagine 2023 and what that meant to us, the people of South Dakota State University. We launched the plan after a year of work by hundreds of people and input from nearly 2,000 students, faculty, and staff and stakeholders. I discussed at the time the value and importance of the process. I talked about the more traditional aspects of a land-grant university strategic plan that includes teaching, research, and outreach, and the inventory of pragmatic things like financial, human, and physical resources, all very critical components of the plan's success. But I also challenged all of us to be more inclusive and consider our legacy and what that means for a public land-grant institution whose roots date back to 1881. The mission of our university is rooted in providing the benefits of higher education to the citizens of South Dakota and beyond. This is clearly evident in the first goal of Imagine 2023, achieve excellence through transformative education. As a university, we continue to grow our accredited programs. Accredited programs are a benchmark of academic excellence, signifying to both a student and eventual employer preparedness to enter the workforce. We currently have 47 accredited programs, an increase of 15 over the past 6 years, and up 2 programs from just a year ago, with aviation and architecture most recently achieving accreditation. The goal for Imagine 2023 is to reach 61 accredited programs, something that is attainable with continuous effort, including several programs already on their way to being fully accredited. A key performance indicator within Goal 1 are the enrollment figures. We have many targets when it comes to enrollment, retention, and graduation rates. We have talked several times about the continuing challenge of our overall headcount, and it is crystal clear to me that challenge is going to continue for many years. But we are succeeding in many important areas. Last May, we conferred 2,833 baccalaureate degrees, 200 more than the previous year, and the second highest number of degrees conferred in a single year at SDSU. We saw our 4-year graduation rate increase by nearly 6% last year, and over the past 5 years, it has increased by nearly 10%. Our projected retention rate has increased over 2 percentage points over last year to nearly 79%. These metrics are proof that we are achieving goals set forth by our South Dakota Board of Regents to graduate students on time at a lower cost and get them into the workforce. The Board of Regents will be releasing final enrollment numbers later this month, so I cannot get into specific numbers, but I can discuss the challenges that are before us when it comes to enrollment. The question around enrollment decline is always why. Here are some of my thoughts on why and what we can do in the short term. Over the past decade, public higher education across the nation has been impacted by 4 dramatic change agents. The first was the legislatively mandated drop in credit hours across the entire nation required of public institutions to complete degree programs with 120 credit hours rather than 128. The second, heavily subsidized by state governments, is the nearly exponential growth of AP and dual credit courses taken by high school students. While highly variable, it is not unusual for high school students to bring with them a semester's worth of general education courses when they arrive on campus. The third is subtle but a steady drop in state support for higher education. And fourth are the federal policies related to international students that can be best described as a roller coaster. Collectively, they have rewritten the operational business model for all post-secondary institutions of higher education. There are 2 other policy-driven factors that are unique to SDSU and South Dakota that are negatively impacting enrollment at SDSU. According to data from the Board of Regents, in 2010, Pell-eligible students accounted for 31% of the students attending our university. In the fall of 2018, that percentage dropped to 22%. That nearly 9 percentage point drop translates into over 1,000 fewer students who have the highest financial need, but who have been priced out of attendance by the subtle decline in state support for higher education and the lack of a needs-based scholarship in South Dakota. As many of you know, this past summer, there was a management and name change to what used to be the University Center of Sioux Falls. While the collaboration between SDSU, USD, and Dakota State remains, its name has now been changed to the Community College for Sioux Falls, with administrative and financial oversight belonging to the University of South Dakota. The change is positive in many ways for SDSU in the short term, most significantly through the financial structure that removed much of the previous overhead and operating expenses we incurred there. It does, however, negatively impact our enrollment in the short term. Finally, as a university, we continue to study and look to the future and what demographics of our region will look like 5, 10, and even 12 years down the road. Through our research, we know the number of high school graduates in the North Central region will be dropping. This challenge, if we do not aggressively respond, will negatively impact our university. In the coming days, we will be releasing a white paper entitled Forecasted Demographic and Demand Trends Through 2032, Preparing South Dakota State University for a Strong Future. Prepared by Vice President Michaela Willis, it will help explain the situation we find ourselves in and help us prepare for the future. Universities in the region, NDSU and the University of Northern Iowa, for example, have already announced major declines in enrollment. And while misery loves company, it doesn't solve problems. Therefore, I am certain that you are already asking the question about what a decline in enrollment due to the 7 factors I just covered above will mean to the university's overall operation. The answer is quite simple. As we rely more on tuition and fees, and as enrollment declines, we will need to continue to reduce the size of our overall university budget. In other words, we have fewer dollars to operate the university. Vice President Rob Corman and his team in the Division of Finance and Administration have already projected the impacts of a drop in enrollment larger than what we predicted will have on the university, and they are working to develop budget strategies for FY20 and beyond. During the fall semester, the University Budget Oversight Committee will aggressively work to prepare recommendations to me, which I will then share with you and implement. And hopefully your next question is, what do I or we, need to do now. Quite frankly, each and every one of us have to work diligently on two specific areas that impact enrollment. The first is to energetically and enthusiastically apply all aspects of our student success model to improve retention in order to meet or exceed our 80% goal. The second, and most importantly, is to look to our next recruiting cycle, which has begun, and the incoming class of 2020, and maintain areas where we are succeeding and improve on areas where our efforts have fallen short. For example, as a result of our implementation of specific practices of our strategic enrollment management plan, we continue to have a growing applicant pool of prospective students and a high number of admitted students. And we will continue to engage in strategic partnerships that help us identify new students and emerging markets. We will continue to look for and apply new methods to market and communicate to these students about the opportunities and benefits of an SDSU education and help them with the process of being an admitted student to one that is sitting in one of our classrooms next year. These are important relationships and partnerships because the competition for these students increases each year. But we are experiencing a drop in the number of students who enroll compared to those we have admitted. The following are observations we have made and actions we are planning. You have probably seen the increased marketing efforts and some changing strategies in our recruitment to close the deal with admitted students. These will continue because we know we are going to see the competition continue to increase for these same students. We've seen a growth in the students from Nebraska with a new lower tuition rate, but in our own backyard in South Dakota, we've seen declines. So we need to change this trend. Under Provost Hedges' leadership this last summer, many individuals worked on strategies for SDSU to own the Sioux Falls market. This is critical to our ongoing success as a university, and there has been some great work completed to have a stronger presence in one of the fastest growing communities in the north central region of our nation. New strategies have been implemented around international recruitment, and new leadership will provide additional strategies to grow enrollment in that area. This is certainly an area that remains sensitive to policies that are outside of our control, as I mentioned before, but we will continue to work diligently to achieve growth in this area because of the benefits that international students bring to our community. And the comprehensive capital campaign by our partners in the SDSU Foundation is underway, focused on people, more specifically, scholarships for students. I cannot express enough how critical growth in unrestricted scholarship dollars is to this university and our students. As you can tell, if you pay attention to the media, it is showcasing South Dakota students as having the highest student debt load in the nation. Our net price is higher than that of our competitors, and one solution is to increase our scholarships resources to lower the cost for our students. As I mentioned earlier, our foundational mission of providing access is being challenged by the declining number of Pell-eligible students attending SDSU. They do not see SDSU as a viable option for their degree due to cost. The South Dakota Board of Regents is working with state leaders to fund a new needs-based scholarship that is state-funded and called Dakota's Promise. We've been working on it for 4 years. This would be a start to opening doors for Pell-eligible students to higher education. The proposal is gaining momentum, and we are hopeful that this will receive legislative support in the spring. But what we need from each of you and those you lead is a concerted effort to continue to support our current students through graduation and to put your best foot forward when meeting with and interacting with prospective students and their families. For many years as a university, we have enjoyed success in yielding students from our campus visit program. Our own marketing research tells us prospective students can see themselves living and attending a university based off of one single visit. Now more than ever before, we need everyone to be focused on helping them choose SDSU for their four-year degree. Annually, thousands of prospective students and their families tour our campus, and meet with admission ambassadors, counselors, faculty, and others. The greeting you give, the conversation you have, the door you open, or the help you give someone may be the difference in that student choosing SDSU over one of the maybe 5 other universities or colleges they will visit and consider. We will be welcoming hundreds of seniors on campus for Senior Day this Saturday. Whether you are directly involved in the event or not, my challenge to you is, what is your role going to be in helping bring students to SDSU? Last week, I witnessed one of our employees during a campus visit talking to a family and thanking them for coming to campus. Another employee stopped to pick up a piece of trash that was on a sidewalk, and as some of you know, that's very important to me personally. So I know that Dr. Rich Reed stood outside early in the morning on the first day of class, simply to direct students to their classrooms and these students were lost or confused. It is these acts of kindness and customer service that go above and beyond to help students and their families feel welcome on campus. So for Saturday and every day, please make this a welcoming place that continues to represent our core values. We have seen great early success with our Wakini initiative as it applies to student enrollment and fundraising and student success. Applications from Native American students from fall 2018 to 2019 nearly doubled to around 450. 80% of the Wakini Scholarship awardees from last fall returned this fall. That's an 80% retention rate and one of the most challenged demographic groups on this campus. We awarded 22 new Wakini scholarships this fall. Wakini is working. We built a bipartisan coalition in Congress and with land-grant presidents and chancellors from around the nation to include the new beginning for tribal students legislation in the 2018 U.S. Farm Bill that President Trump signed last December. The provision will provide annual grant funding up to $500,000 for land-grant institutions to help American Indian students gain access to higher education. The House of Representatives has appropriated $2.5 million, and the Senate is expected to follow in the next weeks. As we continue to consider our institution's legacy, certainly outreach comes to mind. Goal 2 of Imagine 2023, cultivate and strengthen community engagement, is that driver. There are 2 sections of Goal 2 of 2023. The first section focuses on enhancing the academic work and environments of the university by fostering a culture of service, servant leadership, and inclusive excellence among faculty, staff, and students. During the past year, the university conducted a campus climate survey. The Sky Factor Campus Climate Safety and Sexual Assault Assessment measured 15 dimensions of faculty, staff, and students' perceptions and satisfaction with the institution. This survey and the work that will follow is critical to supporting the first section of Goal 2 just mentioned. The survey was conducted initially in 2017 and repeated in 2019 and will be repeated every 2 years. And the results of the first 2 years have been compared. There was strong participation among faculty, staff, and students each year. We learned after the second survey that employees and students felt the institution's response and actions to address sexual assault have improved. Students' positive perception of peers, faculty, staff, and administration has increased, and they also agreed that the university implemented policies to prevent discrimination. Students' perceptions around diversity improved, and that the university provided activities that were inclusive. The survey also showed that we have to continue efforts around employee satisfaction, and we need to find ways to demonstrate the value each and every employee brings to the university. It was also clear in the survey that we need to consider accessibility on our campus and the needs of individuals who may have accessing our buildings, classrooms, and offices. In the coming days and weeks, we will be communicating more information about the survey. A team led by Nicole Piccone, who's here today, our ombudsperson, and Dr. Jana Hansen, Director of Institutional Assessment and Institutional Research, and Cass Williams, Chief Diversity Officer, will be conducting meetings throughout campus to share the information and have more dialogue about how to use this information for continuous improvement as we move forward. The second part of Goal 2 is the ability to grow the university's external engagement through extension, collaborative service, community outreach, alumni relations, and public-private partnerships. Last spring, I tasked Provost Dennis Hedge to form a summer work group to look at SDSU's overall presence in Sioux Falls, as I mentioned. The group identified a number of opportunities, and work is already underway to provide academic programs for the Sioux Falls community, its citizens, businesses, and industries focused on agriculture, health, human sciences, engineering, and technology. While work during the summer looked for ways to enhance SDSU's presence in Sioux Falls, we cannot forget about the impact we have on the people we engage with in Brookings and across the entire state and region. SDSU Extension and 4-H continues to touch the lives of over 30,000 South Dakota youth and their families every year by providing opportunities to develop life skills and positive learning environments. Each year, our university hosts hundreds of campus and conferences, hundreds of conferences on campus designed to bring a wide range of people to Brookings. Whether it's the Jerome J. Lohr College of Engineering hosting one of its STEM-related camps for middle school students, the School of Performing Arts hosting the All-State Music Camp in partnership with Brookings, to also host the Miss South Dakota pageant, Coach Stig in one of his many football camps, or the Fishback Summer Scholars Program that brought 81 high school juniors and seniors to campus for a week to explore areas of academic interest. We positively impacted thousands of young lives this past summer. We cannot forget the thousands of people that engage with SDSU through events off campus, like Research Farm Field Days in the college, sponsored by the College of Agriculture, Food, and Environmental Sciences and the Agricultural Experiment Station. Our Land of Lakes student bot shot champions performing an exhibition recently at the Washington Pavilion on a Saturday that they volunteered to do in Sioux Falls. The outreach by faculty in the College of Natural Sciences and middle school classrooms throughout the state. Prairie Repertory Theater continues its tradition of performing in front of thousands of people in Brandon every summer. Our SDSU Extension team located across the state, our nursing programs in Sioux Falls, Aberdeen, and Rapid City, and our pharmacy teaching team in cities large and small across the state. And switching a little bit, under the leadership of Andy Folberg, the SDSU Alumni Association has dramatically increased its activity with our 80,000 plus living alumni with programs like Jack Gives Back. Thank you, Andy. I think she's here. There she is. Thanks, Andy. All of these events and programs help drive to strengthen community engagement and impact people throughout South Dakota. Thank you all for your efforts. When I became president of SDSU on a September day, much like today in 2016, one of the first areas we identified as a need was to double the amount of research being done at our university. Goal 3 of Imagine 2023 to foster innovation and increase research, scholarship, and creative activity addresses that need. The goal itself has many objectives and outputs, but one of its most aggressive targets is to double the research expenditures in the next decade to nearly $125 million. We are pleased to announce and thank Vice President Scholl and Dr. Jim Doolittle and the whole team that in our first year, we increased the research expenditures by more than $4 million from $63.5 million to $67.6 million. In order to double our research over 10 years, we need to increase it by 40% during the time frame of this strategic plan. The increase of 6.5% in the first year keeps us in the ballpark to achieve that goal. Our faculty continue to conduct leading and groundbreaking research to solve the complex problems of today's society. If you or one of your graduate students published a paper in a peer-reviewed journal, performed a recital, published a book, or other creative activity in the last year, would you please stand and be recognized? As we turn our attention to Goal 4, I am reminded of the importance of this goal in terms of being a premier land-grant university. The goal itself is to be a growing, high-performing, and healthy university. The goal centers around living our core values, financial stability, and accomplishing our strategic priorities. The goal is about our people and our collective will to be a premier land-grant university. I applaud the various groups and individuals that came together to create Jack's Cupboard, a food pantry to help college students combat food insecurity, a very real problem for many students at many universities. The SDSU Foundation continues with the rollout of our next capital campaign and received $56.9 million of new gifts and pledges last year, the fourth largest one-year total ever. Preparation continues as we gear up for another exciting One Day for State event on September 12th to raise needed dollars for important initiatives in critical areas across campus. Thank you, Steve Erpenbach. I think you're here. Thanks, Steve and Keith, and everyone at the Foundation for the work you do. During the past year, we have seen many improvements to our campus facilities to include the remodeling of Harding Hall and the opening of the Oscar Larson Performing Arts Center. This fall, students moved into the new Southeast neighborhood and will enjoy their second year in the Wellness Center addition. Just last week, we celebrated the ribbon cutting of the Animal Disease and Diagnostic Laboratory expansion. That $63 million building is the largest building in our state's history that was paid for by tax dollars, and it's benefiting this university and our research and service missions. Becky Deegan's role as our Director of Continuous Improvement and efforts to provide lean leadership training and continuous improvement projects across the campus has been so effective that the Board of Regents office has asked her assistance on developing lean initiatives for their office in Pierre. Thank you, Becky, for your work and dedication. During the June Board of Regents meeting, several individuals from SDSU participated in a hearing on intellectual diversity. The hearing's purpose was to solicit assistance in methods to achieve the new requirements related to new legislation passed during the last legislative session. Public institutions like ours are now required to report actions to promote and ensure intellectual diversity and a free exchange of ideas, and report any events or occurrences that may have impeded intellectual diversity and the free exchange of ideas. Dr. Jen Anderson, Associate Professor in the School of Communication and Journalism and the Vice President of the Faculty Senate here at SDSU, was asked to testify in front of the board and others, and she was a heroine. In her testimony, Dr. Anderson noted to those in attendance that, and I quote, all faculty at SDSU take our responsibility to provide excellent education to our students extremely seriously. And part of that responsibility is exposing those students to a wide range of perspectives on many issues without imposing our ideological perspectives, end quote. But it was Dr. Anderson's next point that truly highlighted a key principle of today's land-grant university. She emphasized, and I quote, that the role of intellectual diversity training and cultural sensitivity is to prepare our students to be successful in a global marketplace. The university context is unique and valuable because it offers this safe space for students to explore and practice cultural sensitivity before becoming responsible for an intercultural or diverse job duties, end quote. It is this approach and purpose that will allow our university to excel and prepare our students for an even more global and complex world. Dr. Anderson, would you please stand, and would everyone help me thank Jen for her incredible leadership? I would also like to recognize Tracy Green for her work on this topic. Tracy and her staff engaged extensively with the Board of Regents office and worked extremely hard on policy development updates at both the region and the campus levels. I encourage colleges, offices, departments, and support services throughout the campus to engage on this topic and utilize the trainings and services provided by our Office of General Counsel. Thank you, Tracy, Justin, and Jessica, for your very good work. Thank you very much. We have completed our first year of Imagine 2023, where we have made important and critical strides against our goals. We have worked diligently to live our core values each day, having people-centered leadership, embracing creativity and scholarly activity, operating with organizational and personal integrity, a commitment to diversity, and excellence through continuous improvement. Our collective ability to live these core values each and every day is what will continue to make our university a better place. When you came into the ballroom today, you should have received a card on your chair, so you might pick it up if you're sitting on it. And the recognitions and honors displayed on those cards is a reflection of everyone's efforts to achieve excellence and represent those values that make us jackrabbits. But of course, it's just a very small sample of the thousands of extraordinary things being done on this campus each and every day. People-centered leadership is why SDSU was ranked the second best in-state employer in South Dakota, according to Forbes magazine. Excellence through continuous improvements is why Forbes also ranked SDSU among the top 11% of colleges and universities in America, and why our university ranks among the nation's best for exceeding graduation rates based on our demographics, according to the New York Times. We have online degrees that rank among the nation's best, and we are considered a top 10 institution for education majors, rankings that reflect multiple core values, including organizational and personal integrity. The list continues with the College of Pharmacy and Allied Health Professions leading the nation in first-time pass rates on the National Pharmacy Licensing Exam, and the College of Nursing ranking in the top 20 of 500 national programs in terms of best educational value. We have faculty that are being recognized with national awards, researchers finding new knowledge to solve the world's complex problems, and students competing and winning competitions against some of the largest land-grant universities in the country and universities in the world. Our commitment to diversity has not only created educational opportunities for underrepresented students, but opened doors to new ideas and a culture of respect and acceptance that allows our university to be a collection of thought and opinions that drives engagement and learning. These are real accomplishments by you and cannot be done without the commitment of everyone on this campus. Thank you for your efforts, and thank you for being here today. My senior staff and I will remain here in the ballroom for a little while if you would like to come up and ask questions. Before that, I would like to end by sharing a photo from campus with you. It was taken by my friend, Dr. Sanjeev Anand, and shared with me. Dr. Anand is an excellent professor in our dairy and food science department, and he took it on the campus green. His message to me with the photo when he shared it was, and I quote, "I was walking near the Campanile yesterday and captured this incredible picture of our beautiful campus. It is so aesthetically impressive." Thank you, Sanjeev. I encourage you to follow his example and find the beauty here, and don't overlook the details that gives SDSU its essence. Thank you all for coming. I'm honored and humbled to be your president.